Welcome back to the Mr. Kitchen's YouTube channel. Now you are ready to start making your video of your presentation. If you haven't done that already, I'm just going to go over some stuff that I got from the Springboard scoring guide and show you how I am going to grade these. Welcome back to the Mr. Kitchen's YouTube channel. Now you are ready to start making your video of your presentation. If you haven't done that already, I'm just going to go over some stuff that I got from the Springboard scoring guide and show you how I am going to grade these. So it'll look a little something like this on Google Classroom, due Saturday at midnight, just like everything else. So here's what I'm looking for in your video. Using appropriate eye contact, so looking at the camera, you're gonna pretend like we're there, we're the audience, and then appropriate volume and pronunciation. If you make a couple of mistakes, that's fine. It's not super high pressure. Just try to practice talking very clearly. We're going into Shakespeare also, so now this is the time of year where you're practicing your speaking skills. We're looking at our speaking and listening standards here. So that being said, you want a variety of sentence types. Sentence types used appropriately. So let's say you're on this. You don't want to say when John F. Kennedy was 10 years old, when he was 15 years old, when he was 20 years old, when he was 25 years old, when he was 29 years old. Try to use some different words, when, this, while, some. So even here in my example, I'm starting each sentence differently. So try to do that the best you can. So we're not repeating the same exact sentence structure over and over again. And then for the style, it should be formal. You're not just making a presentation to your best friend or something. You're making it for a teacher. So we want formal language, academic language. Use as much vocabulary from the Springboard lessons as you can, and then you should have good spelling and grammar and punctuation and things like that. This is an assessment, so it's kind of like you're writing a really, really short essay. So we want it to look very nice and formal there, free of spelling errors and that sort of thing. And then focuses on the main points. So that means that we are not spending too long. And I'll even show you this real quick. This is really all you need on one slide. There's not 5 paragraphs or 2 paragraphs about this picture here and then a few more about this picture here. You're just going to go to this slide and then read what you need to read or say what you need to say, all right? So let's say we're in the presenting view. You really only need to say some stuff like this, 2 or 3 sentences per slide. Shouldn't be going on and on and on, but it should also take longer than a few seconds per slide to read. So I'll give you an example. So here's a little demonstration of how you could be presenting this week. You can do better than this. I'm just showing you that these do not have to be, the way you record these videos does not have to be totally perfect, probably not going to look professional. We're not in the classroom, so we're not going to have a huge projector screen behind us. So you're just going to have to do your best with what you have. So I'm in presenter view on Google Slides, and then show you an example of how you could read one of these. So you want to be looking at the audience, and then you'll start looking at the camera. The camera is going to be your audience, and then you can take a quick glance at your slide, or you could even have some notes written down. If you want to glance at some notes, you could do that too. So you'll go to your slide and then say something like, when John F. Kennedy was 29 years old, he started his political career. He started by running for Congress, and he was able to win his election and go to the House of Representatives. He actually never lost an election after this. Also, later, he served in Congress, and he supported some liberal policies at the time. So what I just said, that's how long you can spend on each slide. So probably 20, 30 seconds, maybe a minute if you have a lot of information, and then you can just kind of go through. If you had a visual there for character, you could explain it. You could even read your caption. So President Kennedy in the Oval Office, say something like that. And then with your visuals and charts, go ahead and read those to me if you wouldn't terribly mind. I know a lot of you made timelines and things like that, but just kind of quickly go over each of the categories on there so the audience can understand what it's showing. And then your annotated bibliography, I don't need you to say a whole lot about that. I actually would just kind of enjoy it if you would go through it and just say what's important about each source. So the first one that I used for the history is from Encyclopedia Britannica, and it helped me answer my first research question, which was, what did President Kennedy do early in his political career? So just a few things to say about each source so I know why it's important, I know why you chose it, and that's pretty much all you need to do.